eyes. I said, this is it. I can't believe this. I've been wasting too much time. I've been wasting too much of my life being average and ordinary. Why is this stuff happening to me? And now when I look back at it, it all was happening for me.
So what was the turning point in your life that made you want to start a business and change your life?
So a big turning point was actually getting my values in place, which is my 5 F's. What that I stand for is faith first, family second, finances third, fitness, and fun last. That once I started practicing that every single day and taking that seriously, then the universe was on my side, that I didn't have to work as hard because things started falling into place for me.
My turning point was with real estate, having that amount of money and how are we going to grow it? Not go spend it, not go buy a car, not go buy, material stuff. It was like growing it for our future.
And I remember all of them saying, you will never be able to open up your own company. You didn't finish high school. You have no clue what you're doing and you're not even that good. And I just had this, I wouldn't call it a chip on my shoulder. I just wanted to prove the world wrong.
I took that work ethic, and that was the big turning point where it kind of snapped and said, it's not going to happen for me. Like, nobody's going to give me a CEO title. I'm going to have to go and take it. When I started reading personal development books and reading books like Think and Grow Rich, which was the biggest one that changed my whole entire perspective, and reading all these stories of the successful people I've known for so long about that, they grew up in even worse environments than I grew up. And I was starting to think like, man, what's my excuse? And these guys can do it like this and in those environments, then there's actually a really good hope for me. The biggest thing that helped me stay positive during the hard times was actually waking up to positivity. So, when I was living with my parents, I could have had every reason to be negative every single day, but my alarm clock was actually these YouTube videos of motivational speakers that were saying, you can do it. You're the one. You can make this happen. It doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter where you started. What matters is how you finish. And people that would tell me, you can do this. Every single morning, I would wake up as the first thing in the morning. The biggest thing that keeps me positive is always thinking about my son, that I always go back to that, when I was on food stamp. But when I looked into his eyes, I said, this kid was born for a reason to point me in this direction. If not now, then when? And every time I look at him and every time he speaks to me, I think the same exact thing. It's like, man, this kid, and I thank God every single day he was born.
Had failures, we had bankruptcy, we lost our property, we've had health issues. So if we talk about a certain crisis, there's different. How do we handle them? We have to have a plan. But our plan has always consisted of having God first.
If you experience naysayers, how do you not let them get you down?
In my case, I guess it's that pig-headedness or just that sheer drive that you're gonna prove the world wrong.
I think those naysayers will give me the strength. Having haters is power. If you don't have haters, what do we thrive out of, right? And I think this is where we get excluded. We either allow people to allow them to make us feel a certain way, either empowering or disempowering. I don't give them the right to control me. I will go out there and say, really? Watch me. I'm doing this. And it's not just going to be what you think. It's going to be much better. And that's how I do it. So I love to have haters. I love to have people say negative things to me because it empowers me.
Ruben, do you want to answer that as well?
It's kind of interesting because, what really motivated me in the beginning were those naysayers, the people that said, you can't do it. What makes you think you can do it? You grew up in this neighborhood. You don't have this type of degree. And that's what I would hear all the time. And I actually learned how to turn that to fuel, that it would drive me a lot more.
Do you set goals, regular goals, and how do you keep them in your long-term vision?
For about 2 years now, I've been writing my goals every day in a journal. I also write 40 affirmations every morning. So I constantly, for myself anyways, I will write, I am confident, I am disciplined, I am driven, I am patient, I am kind. I'll pick 40. A lot of times they're the same and sometimes there's a variation of them. and I write crazy goals. So some of the goals, let's just say if I wanted to net $1 million in a year, I'm going to write 10 million. If I see it every day, then even if I don't hit 10 million, I'm going to be way higher than my original goal, right?
Yeah, I think my life definitely changed once I became clear and concise on exactly what I wanted. What I found when I was studying how the universe works and studying, how my mind works and how attraction works and such too, I realized that I got to be specific with my ask, that the universe and the world and God will give you whatever you ask for. You got to be specific for your ask. So once I became specific down to the penny and the dollar of exactly what I want and exactly what I want it by, and I say it out loud and I say it like kind of like a crazy man that, I own a company generating over $30 million a year. I own a company generating over $1 million in net profit per month. I own a company, and I say it as so that way my brain hears it. I started with the small promises I made to myself, and once I started keeping those promises, it started getting bigger and bigger. And once I kept those promises, I started rewarding myself with little rewards.
Can you give us your daily routine?
Writing them down before I go to sleep every night, saying them out loud as one of the first things that I do when I wake up in the morning.
My wake up time is 3:40 a.m. and then I do some deep breathing exercises, like a 15-minute breathing exercise, kind of like a meditation. And I have this daily audio Bible app that I listen to every day and I read along with, pray. And then I start on my 40 affirmations and my goals, and then leave the house around 4:45, and I'm usually at the gym at 5 a.m. and then in the office at about 6:30 a.m. That's my morning routine.
I do it the other way around. I do it prior to me going to bed. I have my routine, meditate, and I love to have affirmations, and I do it before I go to bed. So they're already implanted in my brain. In the morning when I wake up, it can be between 7, 8 in the morning. First thing I do, I try not to open my phone like everybody does, but just give thanks to God for another day of life, that I am breathing, that I am healthy, that I have a house, a roof over my head. So being very thankful and grateful for what I have. The day before I planned out, I have a list of what I'm going to be doing, calling, the office, making these phone calls, the kids have class. So I have to have a schedule that night before so I can get through the day.
With someone thinking about starting a business, what advice do you have for them?
Really planning out, having 6 months to a year of your expenses. Just have it counted that things can go wrong.
Have a big enough why that will make you cry, but really know that you really want it. And if you really do want it, be willing to do whatever it takes, and be willing to have no recreation time. Be willing to sacrifice all that because you want to build something great. So be ready for that. That 24 hours of your day is going to be spent thinking about this nonstop, and it won't stop once you build it successfully too, because it'll always be on your mind all the time, which is exciting at the same time too. So definitely have a big enough why to make you cry.
Tell us the importance of your surroundings.
They say success leaves clues, and that's so true. Success leaves a lot of clues. You just gotta follow those clues. And you may not like some of those clues, and you might not wanna give up your lifestyle that can be destructive to your health, but in the long run, it pays off. And that's huge. Investing in yourself and surrounding yourself with people that are going to bring out the better in you.
So really having people that will help you grow personally, also who want to see you succeed. Hey, that's very, very important. And having a mentor is always also very, very important.
Going out and finding people, especially with what's accessible to us today, that we can go and reach out to people on LinkedIn that have already built businesses that we want to build. And they're more than willing, like Manny had said, to offer their advice, that the people you looked up to, they start becoming your associations, that you start realizing that they're no different than you and I. They're no different whatsoever. They have the same doubts, they have the same fears, they have the same ideas of staying positive, they have the same identity challenges and such too. Like, they have everything that we have, that they're no different whatsoever. So finding someone and just picking their brain as much as possible. Like my mentors always told me, you want to be a millionaire, find a millionaire and do exactly what they've done and you'll become a millionaire. So just find somebody that's done it already. But I think associations have been key in my life about, where are we going? This is just the very beginning. This whole COVID-19 that we're going in is great that we're going through it because it's making us stronger. It's making our relationships stronger. It's making our businesses stronger. It's making me a better leader. I'm starting to be more innovative. So when I surround myself with people talking about how this is so awesome, we're going through this crisis, it's something that we need, rather than people that are saying, this is so bad. I can't believe we're doing this. Why? And then start talking politics. I can't believe the president's doing talking about all that different stuff. When I don't surround myself with people like that, then I start realizing that this world is an amazing place.
How do you overcome fear?
Well, I fully believe that fear stands for FEAR, which is false evidence appearing real. I realize that I still have fears every single day, but it's actually false. It's just my brain playing tricks on me. There's no evidence behind our fear. It just appears in our mind like it's real, but it hasn't even happened yet. And 99% of the things that we fear never even happen. So if we think about it, this is just false evidence appearing real. It's so crazy.
I don't even really think about fear. It's just I have to do it, right? And I think that's been from the beginning kind of my instinct, positive outcomes. So for me, fear, how do I overcome it? I just can't be afraid of situations. I have to have an action and then just see what happens and feel good, or keep trying to figure out what's going on.
What's on the other side of fear? And it's nothing. Nothing is on the other side of fear. Just got to do things and get out of your comfort zone just for the betterment of others.
Like during a crisis, right? It's not what's happening, but what are you doing? We have to remember that with every crisis, it has three things. Okay? It has a solution, an expiration date, and then a lesson to be learned. So what has been the lesson for us acquired recently through this crisis? Through fear, right? So if we remember those three things, I think we can always conquer crisis or fear, right?
Don't forget to go on our website to support the organization. Your donations of $30 or more will give you a free t-shirt. Getting this organization out is very important. I think many individuals can benefit from this, and you guys can impact them in a positive way and help them reach their full potential. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here, and have an awesome day.